Today we are going to talk about one of the currently most important companies in the United States, which is no other than Energy Fuels. We are going to talk about why smart money is going to invest or is currently investing in this critical company and why this company is actually that important for the government, for the Department of Energy and for the Department of Defense. And furthermore, we are going to make a chart analysis. We are going to talk about the price targets. This company, this stock can make more than 5x from the current price. We are going to talk about the highlights of the company, why this company is so important for the government. And we're going to talk about, as always, obviously, about the risks you might have when you invest in this company. So guys, I would say we kick off with the chart analysis real quick, price prediction, and afterwards we will go on with the highlights about the company, risks, explanation, and so on. So before we do this, I would like to thank you really quick for the new subscribers, for all the views you gave us on this channel. I really appreciate it. And if you enjoy this video, if this video is helpful for you, you can decide after you watch the video. I would appreciate it if you leave a like and a follow so this channel can grow even more. So let's start with the chart analysis. And as you can see, currently on the higher time frame, we had a long sideways accumulation starting from, let's say, the start of 2012. And we are currently breaking out of this sideways accumulation, okay? So it took us more than 12 years to finally have this rally in the stock price. And let's go and see what I draw into the chart. And as you can see, we got our range low, okay? This base inside the big accumulation, okay? Which we broke out from in the year 2020. It took us 5 years, okay guys, or let's say 4 years to retest this breakout level, and then we finally accelerated in an exponential move to even higher prices, and we currently took out this, I would say this swing high at $23.13, okay? You can say that this is the range high and this is the range low, but right now we are in this upper half of the range, okay? Which means we are in between 23 and $11.20 roundabout, okay? And the mid level of this upper half of the bigger range is at roundabout $17.8. And it is really important to watch this video right now because we are currently sitting at a really good entry price, perhaps, okay? So let's go even deeper into the time frames, okay? On the weekly, on the daily chart. And as we can see, we had a nice deviation above, retested it, fell lower, and we are currently in a nice downtrend on the daily chart, which is obviously really healthy, because when you check out, we started pumping from April 2025, okay, and we made more than 8.5x, okay, 750% within not even a year, okay guys. So this was a fast up move, which is a big sign of buyers stepping in, obviously. And I'm gonna be honest here, my first investment was in April, okay, roundabout, obviously below $4, okay, I can tell you this. It was not a lot, because I just started getting into commodities and I increased my position size since then, okay. So I have a nice decent entry roundabout this lower range, roundabout this half of the lower range, and we are currently sitting in nice profits. Nonetheless, I am currently buying again at current prices because, as I already said, we got this mid-level, which is a nice support resistance area, okay? We pushed into it, rejected, reclaimed, and pushed even higher, and we are currently sitting at support, okay? We broke below, it is currently on the lower time frame, okay? On the 1 hour chart, on the 4 hour chart. It acts as resistance, but on the daily and on the weekly chart, it still is support. And as you can see, I got this diagonal downtrending line as well. And this just shows us once again that we are in a downtrend. And as long as we stay below this downtrending trend line, I don't think that we will start an uptrend. Let's see this, okay? We are in this downtrending channel, okay guys? We are currently experiencing this. 1, 2, 3, and then maybe we break out, or we go even lower once again into this big support area, and then we break out, okay? So that's my thesis on, or my chart analysis on energy fuels. Okay, currently sitting at support, it can go even lower. My personal entry targets or entry prices are around about this mid-level, and if we go lower, always, it can always happen, guys, so don't invest everything. Maybe in this 30%, if you want to invest in this stock, okay, after you watch your videos, after you made your own research, maybe you can start investing 30% at these prices, then you can start investing 30% at $13.5, okay, at this support resistance area, and then you can start investing the rest round about this horizontal support area, okay, at $11 roundabout, which is this big support resistance area, okay. So, but obviously no financial advice, guys, okay. You need to make your own decisions, no financial advice. So let's go to the price targets. After we spoke about the current trend, okay, after we spoke about the current entries, let's go to the price targets. And for this, we have to go back into the higher time frame again. So the all-time high was at around about $240, which is way above our current levels, okay. This would be an increase of more than 14x, okay. I don't expect this to happen within the next few months or within the next few years, okay, obviously, but from current prices, I think that we can see this swing high get taken out, okay, round about $80, which means that from current price, we can have another round about 4.6x, okay. When you go even lower, perhaps to $11, we would be able to see a 7x, okay, 600%. When we hit this target, we either make a swing high and go lower again. You don't know what's the fundamental on energies until then, on rare earth elements, but we can either swing high this, fall lower, or reclaim this and go even higher. But I don't make chart analysis based on hypothetical price targets which are far away from current days. So these are our targets, okay. Obviously $80, it can go even higher or somewhere in between. But why I think that we will break out into $18 after we break out above this $23 resistance area is because we didn't have much of price action, okay. We bounced back really hard 2009, 2011, and then we fell over within a few months, okay, within a year we fell over. There's no big price action, you can see that blow off top and instant rejection. So there's no real volume, or there was no real volume, which means when we get into this area, it's almost like a price discovery area. It's almost like we break about new all-time highs. So this can go up really quick since it went down really quick in history, okay. So that's my thesis why $80 can be reached within the coming years, sooner than later. So I would say that we will take a look on the highlights why Energy Fuels actually is such a critical company for the government of the United States, for the Western nations in general, and obviously afterwards at some of the risks. What are the risks of investing into this energy stock? So let's start with the most important point, which is Energy Fuels is the leading US uranium producer. It produced more than 2/3 between the years 2017 and 2023 inside the United States. And one thing that is really important for you, important fundamental reason on why Energy Fuels is such a critical player in the United States for the government, is that the USA wants to triple the production of nuclear energy until the year of 2050, which means that Energy Fuels is a key player, okay? Nuclear reactors need uranium to produce energy, which means Energy Fuels will have a lot of demand. So there will be a lot of demand for uranium, which lead into higher uranium prices, okay, of the uranium commodity in general, which means that Energy Fuels makes more money per sold barrel of uranium or per sold pound of uranium, and which then leads into higher revenue, which then finally, okay, sorry guys, but then finally leads into higher earnings, okay? So energy fuels, just based on uranium, has a bright future ahead, since the United States wants to be independent on their energy supply chain, which means energy fuels is a key player. Furthermore, Energy Fuels owns and operates the White Mesa Mill in Utah, which probably most of you know already. If you heard about Energy Fuels, it's one of their key or one of their most important uranium facility. And this White Mesa Mill is the only fully licensed conventional uranium processing facility in the United States. So there is one more unique selling point for uranium energy. And what is really important as well, we didn't talk about it yet, is the rare earth sector, okay? So Energy Fuels, one thing that is really special about them is that they use two pathways, okay? So the first pathway is uranium energy sector, and their second pathway where they try to generate income, where they try to get bigger and get or become one of the most critical companies in this sector, is rare earths, which means they have two really important areas they are working on. Rare earth, you know it, China, USA, trade war, or maybe even a trade deal. But let's be honest, I think that this trade deal, if there even will be a trade deal, it looks promising, but if there even will be a trade deal, I don't think that this will hold on forever. There will be more fire, there will be more heat, and there will be more aggression between those two nations, which eventually will lead into more trade wars, which will lead into more uncertainty, which will lead into more dependency of China independent rare earth producers for the United States, for the Western nations, which means Energy Fuels comes in play as well, because Energy Fuels is one of the biggest rare earth elements producer, or one of the biggest potential rare earth elements producer, okay? They produce heavy rare earths, which is really important for the Department of Defense as well. So this shows that Energy Fuels, if they need money, if they are in a critical situation, the government, solely based on the problems with or the goals of more nuclear reactors, more nuclear energy, and their goals of being China independent on rare earths, will most likely help out Energy Fuels, or maybe even start investing into Energy Fuels anyways, okay, without Energy Fuels even getting into trouble, cash, financial trouble, whatever. So we seen this a lot of times already, okay, MP Materials or even Lithium America, where the government started investing into those companies because they are critical for the community, okay, for the citizens, for the nation. And in my opinion, Energy Fuels can be one of those companies the government will be investing in. So, as I said, those are all of the highlights. Of course, there are some more smaller ones, but those are the main highlights, the main important key areas where or why Energy Fuels is actually a fundamentally interesting, let's say interesting company to take a look at and maybe even invest in. Okay, so now let's get to the risks of investments into Energy Fuels. So the first and most obvious risk is that Energy Fuels is currently not profitable yet, which means they are making a loss per share, which also means that since they are not that profitable or not profitable at all, they tend to dilute their investors, okay, in order to raise more money for the projects and so on. And that is one, or in my opinion, the biggest trouble or the biggest risk investing in Energy Fuels. But in my opinion, the highlights or the benefits overload or over brighten the risks. Okay, sorry, I'm not a native speaker. And one more risk, which in my opinion is a smaller risk at the current state, at the current political state, is that energy fuels is dependent on commodity prices. So if energy fuels sells uranium, the uranium price needs to be high in order for them to make more earnings, more revenue. But I talked about this already, and I already told you that it will most likely be that way, that uranium prices go even higher than lower in the coming years. So that's it about energy fuels. In detail, really short and compact for you, a nice little overview why energy fuels is actually a critical company for the government, and why energy fuels is actually an interesting company to maybe take a look at, and then after you decided for your own, after you made in-depth research, maybe to even take a small investment into it. So guys, thanks for watching. Write down your opinion in the comment section. Let's discuss energy fuels, why you think that energy fuels is a bad investment or is a good investment. I'm open for every opinion. So guys, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.